Hey y'all, it's Sunny. Today I wanted to talk about why people would deliberately injure themselves. And it's um it's hard to explain to somebody who wouldn't understand. And I know personally that a lot of people come up and say, hey, why would you do that to yourself? Oh my gosh, you're crazy. It's stupid. And there are plenty of reasons why people would injure themselves. And they could be escaping from depression or unreality. They could ease tension, relief from intense feelings, relieving anger, escaping numbness, preventing suicide, or getting high. It's almost like when the endorphins flow into your blood, it makes you happy. It's almost like doing weed or marijuana. It's like that. And it's continuing abusive patterns. Maybe a lot of people who self-injure have been proven to be abused when they were kids. So if you're repressing your sexuality or alienation, people who are gay, you see more people who are struggling with that who injure themselves, and that's because they don't feel like they fit into society. There are plenty of reasons, and they're generally grouped into three categories. And affect regulation, which is, when you're trying to equilibrate your body if you're feeling emotional. And there's also communication, those people who can't speak, who are trying to, and they're trying to use cutting or self-injury or hurting themselves or burning themselves. And then there are some people who do it as control and punishment. If you have a traumatic experience that happens in your life and you're trying to punish yourself for what happened, that is what happens. And it sounds crazy, I know, but there are people who do that. And if you're watching this and you're not one of the people who SI, it helps for us if you are supportive of those who do SI. And there is a scientist who's trying to explain why most of the people who self-harm are female. And it's like men act out. Men are violent. Men are not afraid to hurt other people or express their emotions. And women act out by acting in. And I guess that sort of explains that. All sorts of reasons, and there's all sorts of things can trigger an episode. It can trigger what happens when you hurt yourself. There's no such thing as a good reason or a bad reason, because what triggers one person might not trigger another. If a little girl failed the test and got upset and she went home and SI'd, it might not have fazed somebody else, but that's no reason to act like it wasn't important to that little girl. It's just a lot of people who SI are triggered easily, and it's addicting. It is addicting. It uses pretty much the same parts of your brain as heroin does, and that doesn't help. And you can direct your feelings inward, and sometimes that's easier than expressing yourself outward. For some people, it's a lot easier. And I'm really just trying to explain to people who don't SI why people who do SI would do it. It is very hard to grasp. It is. And it's very, very difficult to get rid of. So if somebody comes out to you and says, I hurt myself, do not shun them, please. Do not make them feel like they are worthless or stupid. You need to be supportive of people who you know that SI, because it hurts. It hurts them as much as it hurts you. And if you're disgusted, that's okay. That's okay. You're allowed to feel whatever you want about it, but don't hurt them, because they trust you enough to tell you. So I guess that's all for today, guys. I will be back soon. And if you have any questions or suggestions for SI videos, please contact me. I'm Sunny, and I love you all.